Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today we're going to be talking about the forecasted income expected for Clover Health for the years to come. Let's jump right into this one. So Clover Health, we've covered this one quite extensively in previous videos. You'll find my previous one in the description below. But some of the things we want to look at here is their latest news. Now, for the latest news and SEC filings, I've covered very extensively all these things that have been mentioned before in terms of including the blog post from the short seller report. I will go towards institutional buyers and investors, etc. But taking a quick look into as well the magazine they're working on with. I did go through that last time. Today's focus, I want to give you a quick overview of the forecasted financials for the years to come. Starting off with their market cap in general towards the healthcare, there's a 14% compounded annual growth rate coming on from just the Medicare Advantage itself from 2019 to 2025, you're looking somewhere around 14% CAGR. And before going on towards one thing that I have for you at the end, including customer reviews as well as the start ratings, we're going to go on with the current start rating of 3.0 as of today, and they intend to achieve 4+ over time. In the first half of 2020, they further the EDIS featured release such as alerts, medications, etc. On their software, an H2 rollout of features to support A1C control, medication adherence, and transition in care measures, and then future releases are expected to continue to address clinical measures as well as incorporate survey education, and then regulatory tailwinds, including government support for calculation methodology changes, including 1. Local rather than national comparison, 2. Alternative weighting method for social risk factors which are insufficiently accounted for currently. And they estimate an improvement from 3.0 to 3.5 and 3.5 to 4.0, which each would yield around 500 basis points, a total of around 1,000 basis points, improvements in revenue to be reinvested into mere benefits for members consistent for our growth strategy. Now, I do want to give you a bit of perspective on their star status right after I cover a little bit of their financials. And over here, we see the projected financial results with as well commentary. So for the average MA membership, you're seeing that there should be a bit of a growth there going on from 2021 at 73,000 up to 2023 around 140,000, increasing almost 26,000 per year or so in that, adding around 10,000 additional per year. So again, 73,000 to 139. Increasing market shares in existing markets and new market expansion. Member growth, you're looking at 30, 35, and 40% from 2021 to 2023, respectively. And premium revenue as well, you're looking at 872 million to 1.7 billion 2023 compared to 2021. And then so when we also get to see that their adjusted EBITDA margins are actually positive in 2023 compared to currently negative at almost 10%. And they're saying profitability by 2023 and long-term above industry margin around 4% while maintaining above industry growth around 10%. So we get a little bit of a perspective on their financials, and that kind of gives us that. Now onto the rating. This is an actual report that came out in 2021. I didn't see this one in SEC filings, so I was wondering why, but I was able to find it. And this one gives you the current Clover Health rating from Medicare is around 3 stars. Now, they received the kind of summary rating for Clover Health drug and plan services. So the health plan services is 3.5. That might actually be an improvement from that 3 previously, although I don't see them mentioning any kind of breakdown between health plan and drug, but I would imagine that they would float about 3.5 on health plan services. But anyway, 3 is for also drug plan services. So you get to see, well, I guess an average of 325, but this is a 0.5 system. So it goes 3, 3.5. So their average would be averaged down to 3. So they are very much on the curb of drug plan services. And now we want to take a look a little bit into their Better Business Bureau, and this was some of the customer reviews I was able to get, and we'll go through them here. So I have 3 customer reviews here, and I do have 4 complaints. So 3 customer reviews, including, well, first one is a positive 5-star. So grateful for Clover Health and at-home care option help they provide. 2 stars from Yakov. Clover Health has the best Medicare Advantage plan. However, when it comes to real life, they do not respect their own plan. Customer service representatives are mostly and absolutely unprofessional. Every time you ask for a question, they put you on a long hold. When you ask for a supervisor, he or she is always unavailable. If I would rate the customer service, I would rate it below 0. So I guess the customer service part there is the one that actually gives this company a little bit of a pullback there. And this one here, Lizette L. I work at a physician's office. In the billing department, I spent an hour and a half waiting for a representative to pick up the phone. This is not the first time. This insurance company should take in consideration that we have other things to do than waiting over the phone for an hour to be assisted. Perhaps they need to hire more personnel, but something should be done. Again, we're looking at Clover Health LLC. Now, in terms of Clover Health LLC complaints, we do have 4. And by the way, I'm not saying this just to bash the company. You need to know what the concerns and the weakness from the companies are from the end users. And given these are mostly 2020 and above to 2021, these are issues that might still need to be addressed. So you can actually also email investor relations about asking them, well, what are you doing in terms of customer services and waiting times for your customers? So we'll start here with the first one. I choose Clover Health because they told me they can reimburse me for cleaning 2 times per year for cavity filling, 1 x-ray, an oral evaluation. I paid my dentist, but Clover Health did not reimburse me for the work done by my doctor. So I like to get paid because Clover Health told me to cover the procedure, cleaning cavity at 1 x-ray per year, as they advertise, and it looks like they lied to me. I'm guessing this has to do something again with customer service and not really respecting their own contracts from the customer service part. And then here they would go, and this we actually have a reply, which is better because we see how they respond, and I'm gonna end it there. I enrolled with Clover Health beginning service date around 1st of the year, 1 January 2020. I was informed because I was enrolled in this, I would not be charged in the monthly premium, but when I received my January Social Security check, it was deducted. I contacted Social Security and NJPAAD, and they both informed me that it was Clover's responsibility to reimburse me. I've called Clover numerous times to get my refund. They collected a double payment for January, and they keep telling me I should receive it by a certain date, and it never comes. Each time I call, they give me a different date, but again, I did not receive the help. From a technical analysis standpoint, Clover Health here, on a one-day perspective, we're seeing that 80x here is showing this might actually be a very strong trend coming up. And in terms of momentum, it's above the 0 for the first time in, I think, since it was a SPAC, so that's a bullish thing. And what we're seeing here as well is that the MACD is gaining a little bit of attraction there on the positive side. And what we're seeing here is more of an accumulation than anything. Now, this accumulation given, of course, it is attempting to go through a breakout. And what we're seeing is that, yes, the 30 EMA is above the 10 SMA, but above that $10, things can get really interesting for this price point. And you see that the 30 EMA is actually dropping down as the 10 SMA is holding up, and that's actually a bullish sign. Now, I want to skip all the stochastic and everything because we don't have enough points or data points to observe this. And I want to go towards the chart itself on the Fibonacci retracements because things get interesting. Now, right now, the current resistance is at 889. Following that, 1049, 1177, 1306, 1490, and 1724. The current support is sitting at 631. And I want to go ahead and just go ahead with a price line action and draw just the most important supports for me. And that would be the 821, followed by 757, followed by 727. Significant resistances are 908, followed by 988, 1050. We're looking at 1138. And then jumping up a little towards 1238, and then a good gap up to 1318. When it comes to the question to Ed, what do you think is happening for this one? And if you actually followed me on Twitter, you'd find that I did highlight that this one broke a channel. This was actually facing in a channel that was looking somewhat alright, and then just completely broke through it. But that's a good thing in terms of it's breaking it into an accumulation. You start seeing this one, it's starting to look a little bit more of an accumulation period in this kind of two support resistance points. And I do see this one bouncing a little bit back. Give it time. Now, if you're trading this one, I don't think you should trade it. I think you should invest based on what you've heard and continue to perhaps hold a little bit longer. The $10 mark and $9 mark for these packs after they accumulate, it's a rough point of view, especially for a company that doesn't have a revenue yet. And so if you're investing, consider, holding on, maybe averaging down in a bit. But in terms of trading, yes, this has massive potential in terms of seeing massive spikes in the future, perhaps up to $15 or $17, but it is unlikely to do so. Versus risks versus returns are low compared, returns versus risk is actually low compared to something like investing, which has a lower risk in the longer run. What do you think about this ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like. Have a wonderful day.